Okay, so guys, my question to all of you. So, what do you think? What is network? Okay, so if you see this screen right now, okay, so what do you see here? अभी आपको क्या दिख रहा है यहाँ पे? Yes, tell me. Okay, I have not shared. Yeah, now you will be able to see my screen. Right. So as of now, you can see that there is some network over here, and all of us are connected, right? Even the companies are connected. So this is what we call network. Okay, so network can be like two computers are connected. If two computers are connected, that is also a network, right? Suppose if there are PC1, there is a PC2. Suppose if two computers are connected, right? Suppose in cyber cafe or maybe in anywhere. So this is also a network. Yes? Yes or no? Right? So what is network? If I give you a definition, so what is network? तो इसका definition क्या होगा? What would be the definition? When two or more, when two or more devices are connected together in a network, or you can simply say when two or more devices are connected together is known as network. Okay. And then what is networking then? So what is network? When two or more devices are connected together is known as network. Very simple definition, right? Then what is networking? अब networking क्या होता है? What is networking? What is networking? When two or more devices are connected together and and data and resources are shared, or when two or more devices are connected together and when they share data, and when there is exchange of data, that is known as networking. तो networking क्या है? That whenever two or more devices are connected together and when you are sharing some kind of a data, that is called networking. Okay, suppose if two computers, if they are connected, that's a network. But when PC1 send any packet, PC1 send any packet, maybe some any kind of packet will go from PC1 to PC2. This is what we are doing. This is what we call networking. Okay, so there could be multiple definitions. I have just created. If you understand the concept, na, you will be able to write your own definitions. Okay. So what is network? When two or more devices are connected together is known as a network. But when two or more devices are connected together and when there is exchange of data, when the data is traveling, okay, when suppose if I'm speaking right now in Zoom meeting and you are able to listen me, right? अभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो सुन रहे हो ना तुम? Yes. What I'm speaking right now you are able to hear, right? So what is this going on? So right now, today, what we are doing in Zoom meeting, is this an example of networking? Yes or no? Yes, very good, guys. Very good. Great. Okay, so now what is computer network? Okay, so if I talk about networking and all, so computer network is like when lot of devices are connected and all. Okay. So who are computer network engineers? Are people who design, develop and maintain high available network infrastructure to support the information technologies. तो अगर मैं पूछें कि what is the role of network engineer, हम लोगों का काम क्या होने वाला है? What is the role of network engineers? तो हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं? What we are going to do? So this is the definition of network engineers. So basically we are going to, what is the role of network engineer? So computer network engineers are people who design, याद रखना. So we will design the network, we will develop the network. Not develop means not coding, okay? Develop means we make network. Design or plan, prepare, these are the words. Okay, design, develop means configuration. Let's change this to configure. Okay, who design, configure and maintain means if any problem comes we have to fix that, and maintain highly available network infrastructure. What is highly available? Highly available means when you have a company, instead of only one router, you are having two routers, because if one goes down, you have another backup. So high available means मतलब एक की जगह multiple, instead of one device you will have multiple devices, instead of one internet connection you will have multiple internet connection, instead of one router. Okay, suppose you are working in very good company and if you want to set up a good network, so what? Okay, tell me how many routers you will buy. You will buy one router or two routers? Tell me. Yes. So you will buy two routers? Mostly, yes. So you will have two internet connections? Yes. In case if one goes down, right? And in any case, suppose or let's say instead of wired, so you will have wireless connectivity, wired and wireless, both connectivity nowadays, right? Because in computer we have wired cable भी लगता है, we have cable connection, we have wireless also. Suppose if cable is not working in any laptop, still the employee can work from wireless, right? So this is what we call high available networking. So instead of just having one router, you are buying two routers for company, right? Instead of having one internet connection, you are buying two internet connection. Instead of just having wired, you will also have wireless in your company. So this is the example of high available network infrastructure. यानी हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं? What we are going to do, we are going to design, configure and maintain what? Routers, switches, internet connections, wireless, wired connections. So these are the things what we are going to learn. Okay. And have to support the information technology activities of the business, because every company need network engineers, right? So who are network engineers? One more thing, guys, if you don't know, because some people think they are. So basically, there are some kind of network technicians in the market also. Okay, network engineers typically have more knowledge and experience than network technicians, operators, and administrators. So what is the difference between technician? So technician वाले लोग कौन होते हैं? The people who just like do the cabling. Suppose you got a job. Okay, suppose you started your first job in broadband company. Okay, so what are network technician? Technician क्या होते हैं? What are technicians? So these are the guys who just actually like क्या हो रहा है? Okay यार, ये बड़ा पंगा है. इसको सेलेक्ट करते करते तो नानी याद आ जाती है. ओके. Yeah. So these are the guys, right, who actually use some cabling. This is the example of network technician. तो ये जो केबलिंग वाला जो काम होता है टेलीकॉम में, वेदर इट इज इन डेटा सेंटर, यू जस्ट प्लग द केबल्स इन द डिवाइसेस एंड ऑल. सो दिस इज एग्जांपल ऑफ नेटवर्क टेक्नीशियन. ओके, बट डू वी नेटवर्क इंजीनियर्स शुड नो दिस? Yes, of course. If you got an experience, if you are getting that exposure that you know how to do cabling and all, it is good to have even if you are a network engineer. So the course what we are doing, CCNA, CCNP, is far beyond the network technician. So network technician, even without CCNA, CCNP, you can become network technician. You go Suppose if anybody do not have a job, okay, so I recommend those guys to go to job portal and apply for network technician. And in this job, nobody asks too much English, even what we call com skills भी नहीं देखा जाता इतना. Okay, even the freshers can get these network technician jobs. So you can see there are 2,600 jobs right now, network operation engineer, but mostly they are called network site technicians. So you just have to use the cabling and all. Salary will be very low, but I think if you are not getting job even without a CCNA, without with just very basic knowledge, you may get this kind of job. ये जितनी भी है ना टेक्नीशियन जॉब्स, यहाँ पे सीसीएनए की भी रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती, बट द सैलरी विल बी वेरी लो, लाइक 15-20 thousand or maybe 20-25 thousand. That's it. Okay. Even, but yes, if you are a fresher, so definitely you can apply for these job. Do knock engineers get 8 to 10 LP? No, as a fresher in India, you will not get more than 5 lakhs. Okay, even if you become CCNP, whatever you do in your career. Okay, because that's the honest answer I would give you. 5 to 6 lakhs, or sometimes if you join direct Cisco because you are extraordinary, Cisco can give you 8 to 10 lakhs as a fresher. But rest all other companies, HCL, Wipro, TCS, Accenture, if you are a fresher, you will get 3 to 5 lakhs only. Okay. चलो अभी पैकेज पढ़ तो लो, पहले पैकेज पे पहुंच गए तुम पहले, right? And mostly people have not turned on their camera, so I can't see everyone. I can see only few guys. ये बाइजू, यादव, मीना, साहू, हरीश. Okay. अब देखो, when you join the company ना, when you become a network engineer, right? So you will be doing this type of work. Okay, so this is going to be your company design. Suppose, okay, यहाँ पे समझो that this is going to be your company design where you may have a lot of servers in your office. Okay, so try to understand from just basic overview. Okay, so you can see we have firewalls. You can see we have firewalls here. We have servers in our office. Okay, every company has servers, and this where you keep your servers. Okay, that area is called data center. तो ये जो एरिया दिख रहा है आपको यहाँ पे, राइट? कैन यू सी दैट? यस, सर्वर्स दिख रहे हैं आपको यहाँ पे? यस, यू गाइस कैन सी सर्वर्स. So this is your data center area. So in data center area, like you will also have firewall so that nobody can attack. Okay, people from outside world or from internet. So if they are coming to your servers, so they will check, firewall will check them, then only you will get the server access. Okay, so wherever you keep your data, okay, the company will check if you are a genuine guy or not. Okay, so server could be anything, like suppose you are listening music on Apple Music or maybe any service, right? You are using. So suppose if I'm listening any song on Apple Music or any website, Ghana, or there are Spotify and all, lot of websites are there. So when you open these websites and all, they verify your IP address. They try to check if you are not a bot, right? So they will also ask you to enter your password and all. So means the firewalls or even their cloud security, even their network security, everyone check who are you. Okay. So the same way, every company who has servers which are publicly available, okay, if it is a public service like Apple Music or anyone, so they will verify the identity. So wherever you have servers, you will keep firewalls. This is one example. Another thing what you will see in your company, so you will have a lot of these kind of routers, right? WAN routers, you have multiple internet connections. You can see one connection going to one internet ISP. This is another ISP. You can see here also we have one internet connection, two internet connection. And now you must be thinking this is internet, then what is this WAN? तो अभी आप सोच रहे होगे ना, right now you can see there is an internet connection in office, but there is some WAN kind of connection also. So what is this? Because you will not have one office, right? This is one main head office, but you will also have branch offices. Yes or no? So this is your head office. Okay, so consider this is your head office and these are your branch offices. And branch office and head office will be connected with some kind of configuration that is called ISP VPNs, or in simple words, if you ask me, because you are now technical little bit, so try to understand it is kind of some kind of MPLS connection. If you have never heard this term, ignore. But if you heard this term earlier in your life, so try to understand. So MPLS is kind of a network where ISP will help you to connect your head office with the branch offices. समझ रहे हो? तो suppose Airtel has given you multiple, like one connection in head office, and Airtel also has given you one connection in one another branch, and one connection in a third branch. So Airtel is connecting your all head office and branch offices. Or suppose if you have any requirement in future, you join any startup, or if company wants to connect their head office and branch office, so what you will do, you will go to you will go to where? You will go to Airtel and try. You can see there is an option here. यहाँ पे दिखेगा आपको भी that I am a click on the business, and you can see solutions, and you can see that I want to connect my, you can see connectivity, right? Office internet, manage Wi-Fi, manage multi-cloud connect. You can see a lot of SD branch. Can you see that SD branch? Even if you search here, they might have MPLS kind of connectivity, because they keep changing their names for services. अभी यहाँ पे सिंपल लिख सकते हो आप. You can go to Airtel and write here MPLS. Okay. And when you search Airtel MPLS, so Airtel has a service called Airtel MPLS. You can see global MPLS even, and you can contact them and they can help you to set up all your head offices and branch offices. Okay, so this is the work of Airtel, and in CCNP you will learn, obviously in CCNP and RC you learn about MPLS stuff and all. Okay, but yes, in CCNP we will give you overview and all. Don't worry. Most of you, if you have not joined an RC, no worries. So we'll give you overview. Okay, but if you have joined an RC also, so definitely you are going to learn this MPLS thing. Okay, but this is ISP technology. So normal enterprise networking do not need MPLS thing. Okay, so coming back to the network, so understand again. So abhi, once we become network engineer, we need to check the internet connectivity. We need to have MPLS knowledge. If you have only normal CCNA, CCNP and core knowledge, still you can still request ISP to have MPLS connectivity, right? And you can see we have multiple internet connections, and you can see we have wireless access point where you are connecting all your office employees with wireless devices. Okay, so you can see we have LAN network also. This is all your LAN network. So this is just a representation. ये जो दिख रहा है, this is example. Okay, so when you see these 3-4 devices, doesn't this is not the actual diagram. This is just a understanding. Suppose if we want to build our home, right? We have what we call that house map, right? What we call that naksha, right? We all have house map, right? This is going to be my room. This is going to be the balcony. So this is like all these network diagrams. Okay, they are just not the complete. Nobody can show all the computers in offices. We network diagram means only network devices topology. So we call this in the real world, what we call this type of design, we call this design, we call this network diagram, and we can also call this logical topology. ठीक है, तो क्या बोलते हैं इसको? This is network diagram or logical topology. But when we go to our server rooms and all, okay, suppose if I go Cisco data center, or suppose every company has a data center where they keep all the servers and all, right? So when all these devices, this is just a diagram, but in real world, somewhere down the line, they are in the server room. Yes, they will be in some kind of a server room, right? So this server room or where the devices are actually placed, so they are called data center. And if you are working with very small company, they are called server rooms. Okay, so they are called server room. And if it is a big room, that's called data center. Clear hai? And this design is called physical topology. So server room or data center room, they are called physical topology. That how my real devices, how they are really connected. ठीक है, तो physical topology क्या है? The physical topology is where how the actual devices are connected. But when we see a diagram, it is just like our house map, or right, that how my home will be in future. This is just an example how I'm going to make my network, or it is the design, right? Design कि कैसा काम कर रहा है, how it is actually working. But the real actually all the concepts are in the physical room. Right. So as a network engineer, we need to understand the network diagram, how the packet is flowing, how the connection is connected, how the devices are connected. Right now you can see if LAN user want to access internet, what you will do. तो अगर किसी LAN यूजर को इंटरनेट पे जाना है, if one LAN user want to go to internet, how he will go? He will use go to switch, go to the core switch, go to the firewall, and from here he will forward the packet to internet. It's very simple to understand in the network diagram. But if you are in server room, will you be able to find how your traffic is going? Because you don't understand the connectivity here. You just understand some devices are connected with each other, but you don't understand the packet flow. And if you want to become a very good network engineer, you need to excel this design. You need to understand the network diagrams. Are you getting my point? समझ आ रहा है? Good है. Okay, now let me show you. If I suppose, let me try one thing. Network diagram. So when you search on Google, right? एक तो यार मेरे इंटरनेट के कुछ हो गया क्या? रुको. मेरी एनर्जी ठीक लग रही है आज? Okay, so when you go to this network diagram, right, you can see lot of diagrams, guys. Right? So what I recommend you go to ChatGPT, okay, and download any network diagram. Let's use this understand very simple diagram, okay, and save this image and go to ChatGPT, upload this picture, and type ChatGPT explain me this network design. तो आपने अब से ये करना है. Okay, as I am a beginner and learning CCNA. तो अब क्या होगा? So whatever diagram you want to understand, even it is a complex one. So you can see overview of network diagram. There is a typical corporate LAN network. It includes, अब देखो इस फोटो को दोबारा देखते हैं. So you can see there is a internet connection. Yes, on the top left में internet connection, right? So then there is a firewall, then there is a router, then there is a server. And below the router, there is again firewall, then again switch, then again switch. And below this, we have LAN network, Wi-Fi devices and all. And now you can see it is similar way. It is telling you that it has internet access, router, firewall, switches, wired and server. Yes. After this, so internet kya hai? This is for obviously if you want to access public websites and all, you need a internet. Your internal network connect to the internet via firewall and router. So you can see the firewall kya hai? This is the first security device that filter incoming and outgoing traffic. Okay, then we have a router. Router connect the internal network to the internet. So जो भी हमारा internal network है, this is my internal network, and the internal network is helping, the router is helping me to connect my internal network with internet. Yesterday also I have given you this overview. Okay, it routes traffic between network, means internet and LAN के बीच में. Between internet and LAN, you can see there is a bidirectional symbol. So from internet to LAN traffic, from LAN to internet, both the traffic will be routed by with the device called router. Are you getting my point? राउटर क्या है? राउटर इज सिमिलर लाइक सपोज यू गो फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू आगरा, देर इज अ साइन बोर्ड एवरीवेयर, राइट? ओके, आगरा इज 100 किलोमीटर फ्रॉम हेयर, 150, सो साइन बोर्ड देखे है ना, द ग्रीन साइन बोर्ड्स ऑन रोड, सो राउटर्स आर लाइक साइन बोर्ड्स. ओके, असद, सोना नहीं भाई, देख रहे कैमरा ऑन करने का फायदा. गुड. So now we have servers, firewall. You can see all the diagram right now. You can see it has explained internet, then we have firewall, then we have router, then we have switch, then we have computers, we have wireless, then access point, Wi-Fi laptops. Okay, so this is how you start learning and try to type like even this complex network, what you understand. Okay, so जो भी तुम्हें समझना है, okay, whenever you feel like I want to understand this type of a network design, or you simply write here complex network diagram, not this one. ये तो बहुत ही अजीब है. Yeah, this kind of design you can see. Now the similar way, I will not repeat this again and again, but yes, the similar way you upload the picture and try to create a like what we call like a document, okay, what we understood from the network diagram. And by the way, this is very good for experienced candidates because when you go for interview na, 99% companies will ask you one question, okay, explain me your current network diagram. तो जब भी आप नेटवर्किंग में जॉब लेने जाओगे ना, सो वेन एवर, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट फ्रेशर्स बिकॉज द फ्रेशर्स will be asked only technical questions, but from experienced candidates na, companies ask this type of question, okay, please explain your current network diagram, okay, please explain me the biggest issue you have resolved in your previous job, or how you troubleshoot your previous network problem. So means वो आपसे ही पूछेंगे, दे विल ट्राई टू आस्क यू के इज देयर एनी इंसिडेंट वेयर यू हैव ट्रबल शूटेड योर previous network diagram, or is there any complex issues you have resolved in your previous company. Okay, so they will try to ask you your, not just they will ask you technical question, they will try to ask you your experience. Okay, so explain me about your current network design. तो वो हो सकता है वो board, they will give you some marker and ask you to create your own the complete network diagram. Okay, so it can happen. So that this is why, so if you don't know your company network design, try to understand that and just try to make the similar design. Ask chat gpt, explain me this, what is happening and all, so that you understand the diagrams properly. Okay, let's move further. Now you understand that we have two type of design. One is called logical topology, which all network engineers have to understand this. And then we have physical topology, where you actually get into data center and server room. यहाँ पे किसी का डाउट है? किसी का कोई भी पूछ सकता है मुझसे. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Ramesh.
Could you please tell me the differences between network engineer and network administrator?
Okay, okay, fine. See, first of all, network administrators. See, network engineers are the people who will only focus on network part. But administrator means they may work on some networking part, but they are working on servers also, Windows servers also. So network administrator will take care of servers also, Windows servers also, Active Directory, lot of things. He's the administrator of managing the complete infrastructure in a small office or something like that. Okay, so network administrator is a like job role, but normally network administrators, like even if you go and search for the best way to understand this, you go and apply for, you explore the job portal that okay, I want to apply for, instead of network engineer, I want a job like network administrator. तो अब इसमें क्या दिखेगा आपको, that when you start applying for network administrator roles, they ask you to have Azure Active Directory kind of knowledge also. So you can see this is network administrator, but this is not network engineer, because they are asking you to have Office 365, Azure knowledge, Office 365, web hosting. Can you see that? दिख रहा है सभी को? Yes. So network administrators are not into networking only. They are managing Windows related issues, permissions, domain, Office 365, lot of things. Even the installation of antiviruses. मतलब मिक्स है यार, सब कुछ कराएंगे तुमसे, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर बोल के पोचे भी लगवाएंगे. ठीक है. So this is like again network administrator. So you can see this is like CCNA preferred, they should have DNS DHCP knowledge, so it's a good one. So because many companies they hire network engineers with the name of network administrator, but there are companies who hire on the name of network administrator, but they ask you to have complete like any kind of knowledge, whether it is Windows related issues or Linux related issues. So network administrator is na general word है. जैसे IT engineer. If you tell that I am a IT engineer, so it you can be software developer, है ना? आईटी इंजीनियर में बहुत कुछ आ जाता है ना. सपोज इफ आई एम डूइंग, सपोज व्हेन वी वर इन बीटेक मोस्टली, लाइक इफ यू हैव डन बीटेक, so we used to say we are doing BTech in computer science. But after BTech in computer science, some people are becoming software developers, some are becoming LIC agents, right? So some are becoming like network engineers, some are becoming cyber security engineers. So it is just a general word, right? So just focus on what exactly you are doing. Understand the job role. Designation mean normally network administrators are not having very high CTCs. Okay, so they are below network engineers, I would say. Because when you become jack of all, na, you nobody will pay you high. Are you getting my point? तो जब तुम हर चीज आती हो ना तुम्हें, तो तुम्हें कोई पैसा नहीं देगा, याद रखना. Right? So when you become expert of one technology, then only people will treat you as expert or professional, then only you will be getting higher salaries. Okay. So definitely, so one tagline you can understand, become jack of all, but master of one. Okay. So jack of all means you learn networking, you learn cyber security, cloud, whatever you want to learn, but you should be focusing in one particular domain. That could be cloud security, or it can be the complete networking or network security or network automation. तो हर जगह से पढ़ो, learn a lot of technologies, but you have to be master of one technology that somebody can pay you very well. If you just keep learning CCNA, then you learn about Windows Server, you learn about Linux, then ethical hacking, then you learn about some XYZ technology. So if you keep learning a lot of technologies, but you will have a lot of knowledge, but somehow down the line you will not become expert. Okay, clear हो गया? Okay, so let's understand the components of a network. Okay, so what are components of a, so this is yesterday also we have discussed this, but again, no worries, we can understand this. So nowadays in the companies, so we have these kind of devices. Okay, so right now you can see on the top. So let's understand from internet. Everybody understand what is the internet? Cool. We got a router here because router is helping us to connect with internet. ये भी यहाँ तक भी समझ आ गया होगा. And then we have a firewall so that if anybody from internet, nobody can attack in my company. So that's we have firewall. Then nowadays I told you nowadays firewall and IPS, they are combined together. Why? Because in the latest devices, IPS functionality is here already by default in the firewall. Like if you buy Palo Alto or FortiGate, this IPS kind of functionality already in the firewall. So what is this IPS? Intrusion prevention system. So it will detect any malware, any virus kind of a thing. Suppose from internet, somebody or some kind of what we call virus or malware will enter into your company. So firewall can protect also, but IPS will detect more. So as of now, IPS and firewall both are combined in latest firewalls, what we call next generation firewall. तो पहले क्या होता था? Earlier, so there was some firewalls like we used to have. They are called like let's say there is a Cisco firewall called ASA. Suppose तो पुराने जमाने में चलते हैं थोड़ा. And suppose if you have ASA firewall, so in ASA firewall, you cannot actually check all the malware and all the viruses and all. ASA can just check your packet L, means it will check your IP address and port numbers only, but it will not detect the whole content of the packet, what is going inside. तो पहले के टाइम पे, सो अर्लियर देयर वाज अ फायरवॉल कॉल्ड सिस्को एएसए. So it is a normal firewall. Then you have to buy the Cisco IPS kind of Cisco IPS separately. But nowadays, if you do not, if you have Palo Alto or Checkpoint or FortiGate, then IPS and firewall both are combined. So the same firewall can block unwanted request, and the same firewall can help you to protect from malware, viruses, okay, all these things. तो साइबर सिक्योरिटी में सुनी हूं तुमने कभी मालवेयर, एंटीवायरस, ट्रोजन्स, सुने, राइट? And then after that we have a layer 3 switch, and there is a switch. So you must be thinking, sir, what's the difference? There is a layer 3 switch and there is a normal switch here. So these switches are normal computers where you connect your laptop, printer, tablets, all these devices like printers and all, they connect with the normal switches. Okay. So when these normal switches connect with some advanced switch, and this switch we call multi-layer switch or layer 3, because this layer 3 can do some routing. Means this layer 3 switch work like a router, because all this information, suppose all this LAN network, this LAN network, this LAN network, all that information will go to the layer 3 switch, and layer 3 switch will pass the information to router and firewall, then router can go to internet. So basically, if I give you one more easy example, suppose you have a department in company. Suppose you have sales department in your company, you have marketing department, you have some content creator, whatever nowadays, or maybe account department. So all these departments are connected with this core switch. Okay, so all these departments are connected with this core switch, and this core switch is forwarding that all department information to the router and firewall, and then only the router will be able to forward that all information to the internet. तो आप समझ लो. So these are in companies, if you have heard about a concept called VLANs, virtual LANs. Okay, so in companies we have virtual local area network. Means for mostly every department we have different departments, and all the department traffic will merge to one bigger switch called layer 3 or core switch. In the real world we call this switch also core switch. तो अगर आपके ज़्यादा डिपार्टमेंट है, if you have many departments, all those switches connected with some core switches. So slowly you will understand this. Okay. And now you can see some wireless LAN controller who is managing all the Wi-Fi devices in your company. Suppose you have 100 Wi-Fi devices, all those 100 Wi-Fi devices, okay, they all are managed from this wireless LAN controller. So this is a controller. It's like a brain of all the Wi-Fi. So if I want to change the password of all 100 Wi-Fi, you do not have to go one by one. From one location only, you can change all your college or company Wi-Fi password. Okay, it's like a server of Wi-Fi. That's called wireless LAN controller. Okay, tell me, if you are a big company, okay, like if you are in a work group, what we call Windows work group and all. Okay, so if your company has hundreds of devices, let's say, तो आप एग्जांपल लो अभी एक. Okay, take this example. Okay, suppose you have a lot of computers in office and printers and all. So do you think all computers, if I want to install antivirus or if I want to upgrade the Windows, so do you think I'll go to one by one in all computers and upgrade? So suppose you have 1000 machines in your college. or maybe not college, let's say company. So do you think all those 100 employees or 1000 employees, if we want to install any antivirus, we will install one by one in all computers? No, we will install in the main server room. And this Windows server will automatically connect it to all the clients. This is server, this is client. The same way, if you have many, many Wi-Fi devices and you want to manage all of them with some server, that's called wireless LAN controller. Clear? And we have virtual machines. So what is virtual machine? I'm sure somewhere down the line, you have installed a Linux machine in your virtual box or VMware. How many of you have installed a VMware? Tell me. कितने लोगों ने VMware चलाया है कभी? Okay, so try to install. So what's your homework? Okay, so try to install VMware Workstation Player or VMware Player. You will be able to download it for free. I'm sure it is still available, or you can install VirtualBox. That is also free. ठीक है, तो आपने डाउनलोड करना है Oracle VirtualBox. सिंपल है. You just download, okay, and try to install Linux in this machine. Okay, all of you. Okay, download the virtual machine. So there, if you go to YouTube channel of networkings and search for uh, installation, or let's say, I don't know if the video is there. Hmm, I think in कोई installation की video होगा. Yes, you can see. ठीक है, so ये video I'm sharing with all of you. So I'm just giving you some extra work also so that you focus on other things as well, not just networking. कुछ बाकी चीजें भी आनी चाहिए. Okay, so I'll be sharing this in your notes only. Okay, so try to watch this. How to install Linux. इससे क्या होगा? So you will understand what is virtual machine. Okay, because virtual machines are very, very important. It's a part of our CCNA content also, that we should understand what is virtual machine, because in cloud, mostly everywhere, even if you go and checks, mostly all of you are going to get the lab access. So this lab access is also like we have created virtual machines, and you can see we have installed VMware in our office. Okay, so I'm just showing you so that मुझे password याद है क्या? Let me try. हाँ, याद है मुझे. Okay, so this is our virtual machine. You can see. Okay, so this is the advanced level of VMware. Okay, so what you install, it is called normal software like virtual workstation or virtual box. It is for normal people, like for personal use. That inside your Windows machine, you can install Linux machine. You can download some Kali Linux, ethical hacking, कुछ भी कर सकते हो आप, right? So that I'm sure most of you have done in your previous like learning, right? Maybe I'm not sure, but मुझे लगता है कि कईयों ने करा होगा. But if you have not done this, try to install Linux in your Windows machine. And the similar way in the corporates, we have this software called VMware ESXi. Many companies are using this. So instead of having multiple, you can see inside this machine only I have Windows 11 here. Can you see that? This is my Windows 11. Okay, so I can access this Windows machine from anywhere. Okay, if I go to my remote desktop, you can see this is a Windows app. And if I want to access my Windows machine, I can simply log in here. ये देखो, अगर ये देखो मैं बैठे बैठे अब एक विंडोज मशीन के अंदर आ गया हूँ. कैन यू सी दैट दिस इज माई विंडोज मशीन. So how I am able to do it? Because this Windows machine, because some for my some installation or some kind of labs and all, so I have my Windows machine. I can access this from anywhere. I just need a internet connection. So this is what we call remote access. तो मैं इसको कहीं से भी बैठ के अपनी मशीन को एक्सेस कर सकता हूँ, right? The similar way, so you can see all these things we have installed in the VMware ESXi, and all these things are called virtual machines. So there is a main server, right? So we have Dell servers. So my main machine is the Dell server. तो हमारे पास ऐसे server हैं suppose. Okay. So we have Dell 760 kind of, suppose we have this server, and we have this server in our data center. Lot of servers we have, 15, 16 almost. Okay. So every server, so mostly all these servers are in our data center. Okay. And in one server we have installed a lot of things. So you can see there is some CCI lab, there is some Windows 11, there is some another servers. So people like who are accessing our labs, we have created those servers or those virtual machines so that they can access and labs and all also. So we can create multiple machines. Suppose if I want to create, I can choose the operating system. Suppose I want to install Linux. Okay, suppose I want to install Ubuntu. Let's say Ubuntu. So now if you have heard about Ubuntu. Okay, so I can download Ubuntu. You can see Ubuntu desktop. This is a great operating system. Okay, so you can see I need to download this 5.9 GB something. दिस इज द लेटेस्ट स्टेबल वर्जन. सो अब यहाँ पर देखो जब मैं डाउनलोड करूंगा, व्हेन आई क्लिक ऑन डाउनलोड, you can see how to run a Ubuntu desktop virtual machine with VirtualBox, right? So I can download, and there is all the steps also. So what I'm trying to make you understand that virtual machines are very very important. So you should understand how to make a virtual machine. Even when you start learning AWS or Azure, in future also in cloud, when you start learning cloud, even in the cloud, what we create? Virtual machine. If you go to and learn Azure, okay, so Azure के अंदर, suppose you create your free trial. So Azure gives you, like you can say 30, not 30, यहाँ पे होगा कहीं पे. Yeah, Azure will give you 30 days free trial. Okay, so now you can see build in the cloud with an Azure account. So when you log in here, na, you will be able to create virtual machines. So similar way, you can see Azure virtual machines. Clear? Because all the machines today, they are deployed and they are not called computer or laptops. They are called virtual machines. Okay. Virtual machines in AWS, they are called what? EC2. So when you go to AWS ना, AWS में virtual machine का नाम अलग होता है, उसको बोलते हैं EC2. If you want to create a virtual machine in Amazon, that's called what? Elastic compute. EC का मतलब होता है elastic compute. Means elastic compute means like you get flexibility in compute power. Means you can increase RAM, you can decrease RAM according to your usage. You can use a virtual machine. That's why it is called EC2. Clear? I hope you got the clarity, right? So these are the devices. So you must understand. And also, like I told you, like these are the sections. So if you talk about network devices, so the switch, okay, which devices? So switch, layer 3 switch, router, virtual router, access point, wireless controller, firewall, IPS, and there is a Cisco software called Cisco DNA. They all fall under networking or intermediary devices. Means all the network engineers are going to work here in these devices. So all the network engineers will work here. But obviously, if you are once you become cloud engineer and all, you will be managing the virtual servers. If you become a Linux automation engineer, you may be working on the Linux servers and all. So these are called endpoints. So ये हमारा काम नहीं है. This is not our work. Obviously, we need to know what is virtual machine, what is this IP phone, security cameras, all these things. But this is the end point. This is not the work of network engineer. But yes, we if any server engineer is having some problem, he can't access internet, then obviously we as a network engineer has to resolve the company issues. Okay, this is media, all the cables, Ethernet cable, fiber cable, even the wireless connections. This is also like our work. Okay, all the protocols are working fine, port numbers, because every service which we call application has a port number in company. And when we are using a firewall, right? So firewall, we have to enable some ports. So right now, you can see I'm able to remotely access. अभी तो आपने क्या देखा है कि मैं if I go to my Windows app, I can access my Windows machine from anywhere, because this window machine is working on three some port number that's called I think 3389 something. So RDP का port होता है, एक RDP port number 3389. So right now in my office, this 3389 port is not blocked. Suppose if yeah, tomorrow, suppose you also make RDP, okay, but you are not able to access this from internet. So we have to enable those port numbers. So this is also the work of network engineer. We have to enable the port numbers and disable the port numbers. So now my question to all of you. So इसका आंसर बताना है मुझे. बताओ जी. इसमें से कौन कौन से नेटवर्क डिवाइसेस हैं? टाइप इन द चैट. वेरी बेसिक क्लास. So let me tick mark. So tablet nahi, temperature sensor no, access point yes. This is the answer. One, right? So firewall. So access point, firewall, then switch, and last क्या है बताओ मुझे? File server? No. Wireless LAN controller. So these are the four network devices. और एक इसमें दिख नहीं रहा है, बताओ कौन सा? There is one very important device which is not in the list. That's called router, right? तो राउटर नहीं दिख रहा है यहाँ पे. क्लियर एवरीवन, वेरी गुड. So when we talk about networking ना, so networking में, like when we talk about networking, so there are multiple things. There are what we call characteristics of a network. There are some, there is a term called characteristics of a network. तो ये क्या होती हैं अब? What are characteristics of a network? So when you talk about networking, so what is the main important thing? So one is called topology. That a network diagram is very, very important to understand, right? So when how the network is performing, okay. So these are called topologies. I told you there is a logical topology, physical topology, right? So what is characteristic? One is that you must understand. थोड़ा सा हाँ. So topology means a network topology is the arrangement of its elements or of all the network devices. सर टपोलॉजीज आपको क्या देती हैं? टपोलॉजीज गिव यू इनसाइट. जैसे घर का नक्शा होता है, टपोलॉजीज गिव इनसाइट ऑफ फिजिकल कनेक्शन, हाउ माय डिवाइसेस आर एक्चुअली प्लेस्ड, हाउ द डेटा इज फ्लोइंग. दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई टोल्ड यू दिस इज वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क of network engineer, that we must understand the network diagrams. So one important thing that we must understand, topology is very very important. The another thing, the important characteristic of a network is another thing that is called bit rate, or how much speed I am getting. ओके, बैंडविड्थ के बारे में बात हो रही है यहाँ पे, दैट बिट रेट और बैंडविड्थ इज अनदर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक दैट वी मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड. ठीक है, तो बिट रेट क्या होता है? बिट रेट इज ए मेजर ऑफ डेटा रेट इन बिट्स पर सेकंड. सो व्हाट आर बिट्स पर सेकंड? So you must be in the like when you were in school. So there, like you have learned this. There is a binary language which are called 0 and 1, right? सुना है तुमने binary language is 0 and 1? Yes. So this binary language is itself called bits. Clear? Okay, tell me if there are 0 1 0 1 like any number, but they are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this 8 digit bits, these are bits, right? So when they are called 8 bits, they are 8 bits, right? Bits can be 0, it can be 1 because computer understands 0 and 1. So this 8 bits is called what? 1 byte. Okay, very simple. Then when we say 1 byte and what we call the byte bits, तो उसके बाद तो पूरा डायग्राम है, तुम्हें पता ही है. Okay, so this is the picture is not clear. मिल गया. Okay, so normally you must have seen this. So 1 KB. Okay, so when this byte become 1000 byte, okay, 1000 byte or 124 we can say also. Okay, so when it becomes like, I call this simple 1000. So 1000 byte is called 1 KB. So you must be thinking, sir, mostly everywhere it is 1024. Yes. So when we are talking about memory na, so when we are talking about memory, hard drives and all pen drives, so normally we are in the multiplication of 1024. Normally, okay. But when we talk about speed na, like whether it is internet speed or bandwidth and all, so normally our multiplications are with 1000. Clear? Because we ignore that 1024 exactly. Okay. So when somebody is saying you that I have 1 GB internet speed, so normally we call this simple 1000 MB instead of 1024. Okay. So when we talk about speed ना, तो speed में हम ज़्यादातर 1000 से ही multiplication करते हैं. And when it comes to memory, hard drives and all, we use this 1024 method. Clear? So now you can see 1 KB 1 KB is 1024 bytes, then megabyte, then gigabyte, then we have terabyte, then we have petabyte, hexabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte, brontobyte, gaobyte, even मुझे भी hexa तक ही पता थे. ठीक है, तो ठीक है, just keep it tera, peta, hexa, that's it. So the second important thing is bit rate and bandwidth, because mostly even yesterday I told you, so when we buy network devices, even we check the throughput. Remember yesterday class? So we check throughput. कि कोई भी कंपनी का डायग्राम है, if we want to buy any network device, we check the bit, what we call throughput. And third thing what we discussed, that uptime. Yeah. So instead of one router, you will always have two router. Instead of two internet connection, you will have multiple internet connection. What is this? This is called availability. कि भाई हमारी company, that all my network devices and design in my company, like we have better availability. So any good network, they should all have better availability. Availability means the percentage is calculated as a ratio of the time in minutes that the network is actually available. Okay, तो एक ना formula होता है company में. Let me share with all of you. So this formula is this. This is how we calculate the uptime. Okay, so this is Sheikh. Don't write on my screen. Maybe mistakenly. ठीक है, अभी देखो यहाँ पे क्या है. You guys can see here. We do not have to cram this. कोई लिख रहा था मेरी स्क्रीन पे, मैंने वेटिंग रूम में डाल दिया. ये ड्राइंग करने में लगा हुआ है, चौथी क्लास का बच्चा मेरी स्क्रीन पे. बताओ मैं पढ़ाऊं ना भी यहाँ बैठ के. ओके, सो availability formula is uptime, whatever is uptime. Okay, and it is uptime plus downtime, and then you get this. Suppose you can say availability, you can see here, यहाँ पर availability को यहाँ पे देखते हैं. Yeah, suppose total uptime in a day in minutes. Total uptime in a day in minutes. तो जितनी भी देर आपका minutes के अंदर, like 24 hours into 55 minutes. Suppose like normally your uptime is 55, like 5 minutes your network is down. So you calculate this 24 hours into 55. Normally after in 1 hour your network is not up for 5 minutes, suppose. So you are taking an average that my uptime is 24 into 55, and total minutes in a day 24 into 60, and multiply by 100. So you will get 13, 20, 14, 40, and multiply by 100. So your uptime is 91 percentage. Means instead of getting 100% internet connectivity or availability, so your company is 91.67. तो अगर हर घंटे में 5 मिनट भी, even if your network is 5 minutes down every hour, your company network uptime is 91% for that month. क्लियर? अब टाइम निकल गया कि जितने भी देर डाउन होगा ना, सो वट एवर नंबर ऑफ टाइम, इफ इट इज अप टाइम, ओके, सो जस्ट माइनस दैट फ्रॉम डाउन टाइम. ओके, सपोज ए 5 मिनट्स every 5, or you can take, suppose पूरे दिन में, you can also take an example, if the network is down for 1 hour daily, and you can calculate 24 into 55. ओके, और इसमें से भी सिंपल 60 माइनस कर दो ना, ये भी सही है. सो यू कैन माइनस दिस फ्रॉम हियर. सो इट इज जस्ट अ फॉर्मूला. ओके, सो nobody ask you this in interview, right? Don't worry, no need to cram. This is just how companies calculate and all. And nowadays all the websites, all companies have softwares, so they automatically check what is my network time, what is. अब एग्जांपल देता हूँ, देखो. So we have also one software where we track our network uptime of ISP. So you can see this is our labs 8097, and this day had some issues in data center, and the downtime was because of some IP conflict, or there was some public IP issue. And in the whole 1 month, last 1 month, my uptime is 98.27. Can you see that? हमारी labs का uptime है ये. This server 8097, this 8087 has 96.84. because there is some 27-minute downtime. Can you see that? Mostly every day it's fine, but sometime there is a maintenance going on. If data center is having some big issue and something, I remember this had some public IP issue. So, or we changed the DNS setting, something I don't remember exactly, but yes, this is how we track uptime. Okay. So automatically websites tell you that website has some issues and all. And this is all called monitoring. ये क्या है देखो, this is what we call monitoring. And this is one of the characteristic of a company network, that availability is very, very important. Clear? Okay, so what is another thing? So do you want to buy Chinese products, which suppose you buy router switches, and not even Chinese companies are doing great, right? So I'm talking about, suppose you buy very cheap router, or maybe very like average router or switches. Okay. So do you think they are reliable for your company? So tell me, reliability of network devices or components are important or not? It is the similar way. Suppose you buy a car, and if it is not secure, it do not have 4 star, 5 star rating. So you may shift to another car, right? Nowadays, road accidents are increasing. So obviously, you will buy the highest star rating car. The similar way, when you buy network devices, you need a reliability in network devices. Yes or no? तो आपको अच्छे devices buy करने चाहिए नहीं. So reliability indicates how well the network operates. Even it considers the ability of a network to operate without failures and with the intended performance for a specified time period. In other words, it tells you how much you can count on the network to operate as you expected. Okay, it can depend on the network companies also, that whatever reliability is important, right? So reliability and availability both are important. Availability means that if network is operational or not. Reliability means the devices are working fine, they are not getting restarted, all these things. There are other 3 4 things which I want to discuss. अब ये तुम्हारे इंटरव्यू का क्वेश्चन है, मैं तुम्हें बताऊंगा अभी. दिस विल बी योर इंटरव्यू लाइक क्वेश्चन आंसर, because many companies will ask you, okay, tell me, if your network is down or if your network is not performing well, what you will do in this case. पूछते हैं ना ऐसा क्वेश्चन. Yes, if you have given any interview, so mostly companies what they'd ask you, okay, tell me how, like your network is not working fine, tell me what you will check. तो आपने यही जवाब रट्टा मार लो इसका. That okay, I'll check the network topology, okay, and try to understand how the packet is flowing. I will check if bandwidth is not choking anywhere. I will check, I'll make sure the company network availability is accurate. We should have multiple devices and proper bandwidth. Okay, availability means the devices, uh, availability means the internet connection or ISP connectivity is fine. We will also make sure the devices what we are using are up to date, they are software updated, they should not have bugs. And then we will also check the scalability. In case sometimes what happens, you have thousand, suppose you are using 1 GB internet and you have 1000 employees in your company already. So in this point of time, you need to scale your devices. You need to improve your network performance by checking that what is the best requirement for me. तो वही बात है that you have 20 family members and you are in 1 BHK. You have to upgrade to 3 to 4 or maybe 4 5 BHK, right? Or maybe to farmhouse if you have 20 family members, right? The same way. So when you have if your company network cannot accommodate more user, तो अगर आपकी कंपनी ज़्यादा यूज़र को, if your company cannot accommodate more user, you need to increase the data requirements. So, and data transmission requirements you have to fulfill. If you design and optimize a network only for current requirements, तो गलती से कई लोग क्या करते हैं, राइट नाउ मैनी मैनी नेटवर्क इंजीनियर्स और डिजाइनर्स, दे एक्चुअली डिजाइन द नेटवर्क अकॉर्डिंग टू करंट रिक्वायरमेंट. So don't you think company will increase, they will grow and they will hire more engineers, their bandwidth will increase in future? Yes or no? समझ रहे हो ना? So every company will grow, right? Mostly there, every company has a goal. They want to increase their profits. They want to hire more employees, right? This is why scalability is very important factor. If I'm designing a network, I'll make sure that we should have the, if right now my usage is 1 GB, I will not buy 1 GB device. I will buy 2 GB because in future I can upgrade to 2 GB. समझ आ रहा है? Hmm. Okay, tell me, security is important or not? Yes, security is important. Yes. So obviously we have to make sure that we should protect our company from potential threat, that nobody can attack my company. Have you heard about ransomware? Ransomware सुना है? एक वायरस था, फिर वो डॉलर मांगता था, याद है? बिटकॉइन, कितने पैसे दे दो, इफ यू वांट टू इनक्रिप्ट योर फाइल देन पे अस, यू विल गेट अ की. बहुत चला था, बहुत लोगों ने पैसे दिए हैं. ओके, सो सिक्योरिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो दिस इज द स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ रैंसमवेयर. सो ऐसे हो जाता था दैट इन ऑल द कंपनी सर्वर, यू कांट एक्सेस योर सर्वर, यू गेट दिस टाइप ऑफ डिस्प्ले एंड यू हैव टू पे सम अमाउंट, दे विल गिव यू सम की, एंड देन यू कैन सी $300 दो, send $300 worth of bitcoin to this address, then you will get a key, then only they will remove. This is called ransomware. तो बहुत चला था यार ये, सुना होगा तुमने. Right, so ransomware. So, and obviously you do not want to pay, right? So it's better to protect your company from potential threat by implementing security. Nowadays many companies, like earlier they were not using firewalls, but even small scale companies are now buying firewalls because they do not want to take risk, they do not want to have any company कोई भी सॉफ्टवेयर बना रही है, if any company is making any application today, do you know, even a company who is making website, suppose if I want to design a website, suppose I go to one company, let's say there is a good company in Pune, Coditas. ठीक है, सपोज मैं इनके पास जाता हूँ, इन्हीं की वेबसाइट नहीं चल रही बेचारों की. बताओ क्या, एक तो मैं फ्री में ऐड कर रहा था इनकी. ठीक है, कोई और ले लो यार. सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट कंपनी. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, in anywhere, even in India, Mohali, Chandigarh, wherever, okay, suppose if I go to this website, Tech Grop something, and I ask them to build an application for me, even this company, these kind of companies, they don't just hire developers, they also hire security guys, whether they are cyber security guys and all, because they do they actually do web application, or what we call penetration testing, or web application testing. तो जब भी कोई आज की डेट में वेबसाइट बनती है, whether it is a website, whether it is an application, all those cyber security, all these guys, they actually test that is there any vulnerability, that is called vulnerability assessment. VAPT सुना है तुमने? VAPT टेस्टिंग. ठीक है, तो ऐसे करके कि देर आर लॉट ऑफ वर्नेबिलिटी असेसमेंट ऑन पेनिट्रेशन एंड पेनिट्रेशन टेस्टिंग. तो हर कंपनी क्या करती है, व्हेन दे मेक एनी एप्लीकेशन, they hire freelancers, or even they hire full-time VAPT or penetration cyber security engineers. They test the security and all. So the same way when it comes to networking, so we also have to make sure our network security is also important. because the first line of attack, okay, the first line of attack, if this is your company network, tell me what should be more secure, an application that is in the server, पर सर्वर तक तो पहुंच रहा है ना पहले बंदा, right? Application is inside your virtual machine or inside server, but do you want all those attackers to come inside your company network? No, right? The first plan of action, that you restrict the user on the network point, on the network security point of view only. We stop them on the network. Okay, if there are attacks and all, so we stop them on the network level, on the website level, on the network level. Okay, so character one of the, so another is quality of service is also very, very important for our company, right? Not just security. Every company should implement quality of service. What is this? Suppose you have very good company, you have 500 employees, and there is a very important meeting going on, and 50 of your employees are watching YouTube with 4K resolution in office. समझ रहे हो कि एक इंपॉर्टेंट मीटिंग हो रही है, देर इज इंपॉर्टेंट मीटिंग गोइंग ऑन, इन जूम मीटिंग हो रही है, इंपॉर्टेंट जूम मीटिंग, वेयर 100 employees are listening, or it's a mandatory training, suppose, and head office, or your head office in US, and US employees or US HR is taking trainings for those 100 employees, and out of, like, not out of 100 means extra 550 employees, like they are watching YouTube and with 4K resolution or 8K whatever. So don't you think here you should give priority to the meeting rather to watch, like, those 50 guys who are just doing YouTube just for fun? मतलब मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, इट इज जस्ट वन एग्जांपल. ऑब्वियसली नाउडेज लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज दे block YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, lot of things on website, right? It is just so that nobody can share their data. But quality of service is something different. Quality of service does not mean security. It means how you want to control your application. Do you want to give high priority to Zoom meetings? Yes or no? If yes, then we have to implement this quality of service kind of things. And where do we implement this? We implement this in router and switches. That you give permission to router and switches to give priority to your traffic. So prioritizing traffic. Are you getting my prioritizing traffic? Again, the same example, if like you have very important meeting in your company, so you have to give them priority in the meeting rooms. So you automatically write a quality of service cost, bolte hain se, there is a short form called cost or quality of service. So we make some policy where we give high priority to our Zoom meeting software. Okay, so even those things we can do and implement. And if I want to show you, so write a call. So I'm just showing you, this is one of the commands script I'm giving you. तो अब इसमें देखो क्या करना होता है. This is the, like, I'll show you in advance when you will be doing encore and all. So you can see there is a IP access list extended Zoom. So you need to identify the port numbers of Zoom. Okay, so first you select the Zoom port numbers, then you select the Zoom TCP port number, then you just create some class map. What, this is advanced level, this is not CCNA. I'm just showing you this can be done in the companies where you can see you are creating a policy map Zoom, and you are giving here priority percentage 20. So means this will guarantee 20% of bandwidth for Zoom. मतलब जो भी तुम्हारी bandwidth है कंपनी में, suppose you have 1 GB, so 200 Mbps is allocated only to Zoom meetings. Are you getting my point, guys? Yes, right? And rest you apply this to like to the interface where you are actually forwarding traffic to your WAN port. Okay, so this is one of the example. You do not have to ratta mar abhi ke liye. Okay, you do not have to cram right now. So it is just an example I'm giving you that quality of service is very, very important. And you will be learning in the Encore module only, this quality of service. So we'll show you some practicals about this. एक चीज और रहेगी यार, क्या रहेगी मुझे याद नहीं आ रही. What do you think? What is another important characteristic? Cost is important or not? Yes. So will you consider cost of your company, or you will just spend millions of dollars to just make some basic network? Obviously, you need to buy according to her company budget. Every company has a budget. They will give you like 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, or maybe 1 CR. Every company has a network budget. Okay, how much they want to spend. Suppose if I want to buy a firewall, so my company should give me a budget, right? Okay, I can spend up to 10 lakhs. Then you take the quotation from FortiGate and they tell you, okay, if you buy our 15 lakh model, if you buy this firewall, which is 15 lakhs, this will give you better security. And then you discuss with management, get approval, and then buy the devices. Yes. So cost is important role in the network characteristic, right? That any purchase and we need to buy, because not cost is not one time, you will pay for their support also. So when you buy Cisco devices, so tell me, you buy like only hardware or you will buy their support also? What do you think? तो जिनको नहीं पता उनको बता देता हूँ. When you buy any product, like whether it is Cisco routers or maybe Cisco switches, whatever you buy, so you do not just buy hardware, you also buy their support service. Are you getting my point? तो आप सपोर्ट के भी पैसे देते हो. दैट यू वांट 6 months सपोर्ट, यू वांट 1 year सपोर्ट. इफ यू वांट टू एक्सटेंड द सपोर्ट, यू विल पे फॉर एक्स्ट्रा. समझ रहे हो ना? जैसे मोबाइल में होता है ना, दैट यू गेट 1 year वारंटी, यू वांट टू एक्सटेंड द वारंटी, यू हैव टू पे एक्स्ट्रा. आर यू गेटिंग द सिमिलर वे? And nowadays, this is the latest thing I want to highlight. Nowadays, virtualization is also very, very important. Now you must be thinking, sir, why you always come with virtualization every time? Earlier you shown us virtual box, then why you are talking about virtualization every time? Because see, network virtualization also create a very critical role. Why I was showing you that, to please understand those virtual box, all these things, because I want to show you ये जो हमने, जो मैं आपको दिखा रहा था. Let me show you. If so inside my virtual machines, you know, this is a server and we have multiple virtual machines inside the server. Okay. But right now in my server, I have internet connection, and that all you can see in the networking section. Can you see there is a virtual switch here, V switch, virtual switch. This is my network and this is a virtual switch. Can you see that? ये मेरा एक internet connection and this is my real internet connection, and this internet, and this is a switch. So you can see all the virtual machines, right? So all the virtual machines, they are getting access to this internet. You can see ये यहाँ पे एक line दिख रही है बीच में, that all these machines have access to this internet connection. Suppose if I do not want to give internet access to this window machine, I simply go to actions, or if I go to my virtual network, you can see there is a window machine, edit settings, or I go to virtual switch. ये देखो पोर्ट दिख रहे हैं तुम्हें यहाँ पे. There are some port numbers. And if I click here, you can see there is some security, there is some VLAN. Okay, if I want to give them some very speed, like we can control the speed also. And if I want to disable the connection, I go to this machine, edit, and you can see there is a network setting and it's connected here, right? I can disable this and it will stop the internet access of this machine. So means we can have virtual LANs. This is all what we call this. This is also networking. Even you can see there is some promiscuous port. There is some settings. There is a, you can see promiscuous mode and all. There is a traffic shaping. I want to give them 10 Mbps or 5 MB or 5 GB. So whatever speed I want to control, I can control from here. Can you see that? कि मुझे कितना bandwidth, how much bandwidth I want to set up for this virtual network. So all these settings we can do, and this is kind of a networking only. This is called network virtualization. And there is a good term that's called like in VMware or in network function virtualization. That in cloud networking everywhere you are going to have network function virtualization. That you have virtual switches, you have virtual routers, you have virtual firewalls. Lot of things are getting virtual. Okay, so this is a concept of NFV, network function virtualization. NSX वगैरह भी बोलते हैं इसको, सुना हो अगर तुमने, नेटवर्क फंक्शन वर्चुअलाइजेशन. Okay, so I'll not confuse you, but this is like you can see there are a lot of things here: NFV orchestrator and VNF manager, vCenter server. So ये पूरे ऐसे books होते हैं. Like this is how how my virtual networking design will be. Like if I show you, suppose uh, NFV BGP. So you can see in the virtualization, we can run this BGP inside like Cisco enterprise network function virtualization in the software. Okay, so this is a little advanced, so ignore right now. But I am trying to explain you that network virtualization also plays a very, very important role, because as a network engineer, as a cloud engineer in future, you must understand the network virtualization also. That how my network work inside the virtualization. Okay, so these are the three characteristics. So अभी हमने क्या क्या पढ़ा? So if you understand that what are the characteristics, so you can check from here. So first we understood the topology is very, very important. Then bit rate bandwidth is important. Topology, bandwidth. Suppose let's prepare for interview now. Suppose if anyone ask you, for better network, for better network or for better network performance, what steps you will consider? ऐसा क्वेश्चन हो सकता है. So tell me, what for better network performance, what steps you will consider? Yes, let's start from beginning. Type in the chat क्या क्या पढ़ा हमने अभी. Yes. हेलो हेलो बॉयज. कोई लिख नहीं रहा है चैट में, क्या हो गया? आवाज आ रही है? यस. फॉर बेटर नेटवर्क परफॉर्मेंस, आई विल चेक the network topology, or I will check the network diagram to understand the packet flow. Second step, I will check the bandwidth. I will check the availability. For what availability? Availability किसकी देखोगे? We will check the availability of ISP. We will also check the availability of network devices, if we have multiple devices or not. We will also check the reliability. Check the reliability. And it can be check the reliability of ISP connection. Availability and reliability एक ही में डाल देना, okay? Keep it like one line only. Check the availability and reliability of ISP and network devices. Okay, what else? Check the quality of service. I'll check the quality of service. I will check the security of the network, right? And somebody is using AI companion. यार इसका कोई फायदा नहीं होता, वैसे ही बता रहा हूँ तुम्हें. Don't ask me to enable AI. Check the quality of service, security, and I will also, in the last, I will also make sure that we will check the network performance. And virtualization जम नहीं रहा है इसमें. Okay, it is a characteristic of a network, but don't over deliver the answers. I think till here you can ignore virtualization and cost. Okay, but these are the important things. Okay, for better network performance, what steps you will consider? Network diagram. Okay, और यही चीज को whenever we, okay, so I can go to chat GPT kind of software. Okay, so I can double check this, that if I go to chat GPT and say, if anyone ask me above question, check my answer, check my below answer. Okay, let's see. ये देखो कुछ और एडवांटेजेस देगा अब यहाँ पे. सो वेन एवर यू प्रिपेयर एनी कॉन्टेंट, यू टेल देम फर्स्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड आपने पढ़ना कैसे है, हाउ टू लर्न. So whenever you learn any topic, try to make your own interview questions. Try to check what are the characteristics of network, or you can ask here also. You can see, analyze the network diagram to understand the flow of traffic, identify potential bottlenecks. Now, what is bottleneck? Bottleneck means होता है कि that if you have one internet connection, that is bottleneck. Are you getting my point? If one internet connection goes down, the complete network is down. That's called bottleneck. That we should not have bottlenecks. Instead of we have multiple connection. Now technical language समझ आ रहा है थोड़ा? This is what we call technical words. So bottleneck is like single point of failure नहीं होना चाहिए. वही तो हमने पढ़ा आज, right? We should not have single point of failure. Okay. We should monitor our bandwidth usage. We can use these kind of tools like SNMP, Wireshark, NetFlow. So we, because you guys are beginners, so I have not explained these tools obviously right now. So ISP, we can check the uptime and SLA. What is SLA? Service level agreement. That ISP, whenever you take internet connection from ISP, ISP gives you agreement. Okay, that okay, we will make sure that you will get 99% bandwidth. तो अगर आपको नहीं आ रहा है, suppose you are not getting 99%, you can block their payment, or you can ask ISP to, like, we will not continue, we will use another ISP. We can check the health of our router switches and firewall core devices. We can implement the quality of service. You can see VoIP or Zoom. ये देखो मैंने नहीं दिया इसको, अपने आप दिया इसने एग्जाम्पल है. Ensure low latency, minimum packet loss. We will also check is there any configuration, misconfiguration. Sometimes we misconfigure or wrong configure firewalls or ACL. We make sure we should not have any malware or DDoS attacks. Okay, we will also improve our network performance by using PRTG, solar, wind, Zabbix. तो एक बहुत अच्छा आंसर है. Okay, this is a Great answer, I would say. Okay, but for as a beginner level, you can focus on this simple one, but slowly, once you finish your CCNA level or this level, so you can have this one also. तो मैंने ये डाल दिया यहाँ पे. Okay, you can read this later on. Check the uptime, check the quality of service, check the performance and all. Right. So this is how you make your interview मोर लाइक पर पता क्या बेसिक आना चाहिए. अभी देखो तुम्हें यही ना पता होता दैट व्हाट आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, देन यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू आंसर दीज क्वेश्चंस. Okay, at least you speak about this, because now, okay, let me tell you, I have taken a lot of interviews. Do you know how people answer? Do you want to listen? तुम्हें जानना है कैसे जवाब देते हैं लोग? Okay, suppose if I'm taking someone interview, so if I ask them, okay, tell me for better network performance, what you will do? So if he is a beginner, or he will just normally say, sir, I'll check the bandwidth. Or normally they will say, like, I'll check the ISP. If ISP is having good internet, like if we are getting the good internet speed or not. Because normally 99% of the time, every network engineer who is working professional, they get this problem only, that their ISP is having some problem, or maybe their bandwidth is choking, and they don't know the exact reason why bandwidth is choking. कि problem bandwidth में क्यों आ रहा है. Maybe they have lot of users. Maybe their users are like using YouTube. Lot of YouTube is going on in the company, because nobody is monitoring the performance. है ना, mostly companies, like they, like if it is a big company, they are checking the usage, they are checking the bandwidth usage with the net flow kind of tools. तो नेट फ्लो जैसे टूल्स क्या करते हैं, लाइक इफ यू गो एंड सी नेट फ्लो, right, so it will give you the exact bandwidth. You can see even the user MAC address also, even the username also, if it is connected to Active Directory, that who is actually eating up my bandwidth, कि कौन लोग हैं जो हमारी bandwidth को खा रहे हैं. These are called top talkers, or they are the highly like bandwidth consumers, those who are actually eating up too much bandwidth. Top talkers भी कहते हैं इन्हें हम. इन नेट फ्लो वी कॉल देम टॉप टॉकर्स. तो ऐसा कुछ स्क्रीनशॉट दिखाता तुम्हें. ये देखो, दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे टॉप टॉकर्स. These are the guys. You can see this is the application level bandwidth, that which application is eating up the most bandwidth. And if you go to firewall and all, ना firewall वगैरह में तो और ज़्यादा चीज़ें दिखा देता है. If you suppose if you check FortiGate bandwidth usage report, okay, it will also give you more clarity that which users are eating up the most bandwidth and all. So there are firewalls में this is very common. It is not. ये देखो इवन यहाँ पे ये भी दिखा रहा है that somebody is using Android google.com Android, and he is eating up lot of bandwidth. He is using Gmail, he is using this. So we can check the web categories, we can see the session, we can check users are watching YouTube or Facebook, whatever. तो यहाँ पे पूरा bandwidth आ रहा है देखो. Right, so this is how you control. Okay, so you can easily, if you know the firewall one day, so you'll be able to answer this question very much more clearly, because these kind of FortiGate or Palo Alto firewall, they are good firewalls and they can monitor the traffic very well. ठीक है, तो अभी के लिए बेसिक ही चल रहा है. Okay, so I'm not rushing again. I'm keeping the topics very simple so that you understand, and I'm giving you all these notes. Yesterday also I've given. Okay, so any doubts, guys? As of now, the basics are going on, and I'm sure you are able to, so पहले तो मेरा यही क्वेश्चन है. So first my question is, are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
It's not difficult, right? It's a simple
Yes,
theory,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question, please.
Yeah,
मैं
please tell me.
सर एक्चुअली मैं हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जैसे अभी मैं सियाना में वर्क कर रहा हूँ, तो
Mm-hmm.
हम कम तो कर तो हम आईएसपी में काम कर रहे हैं एयरटेल के साथ, बट हम रिंग टोपोलॉजी पे ही कंटिन्यूसली काम कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे सिर्फ हम मोस्टली 10 से ज़्यादा नोट्स पे काम ही नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो हम वो कैसे पता लग सकता है कि वो आईएसपी के लिए ही काम कर रहे हैं, जबकि हम सिर्फ 10 से ज़्यादा बड़ी नोट्स के लिए तो काम ही नहीं कर रहे हैं हम सर। तो फिर वो ज़्यादा बड़ी टोपोलॉजी थोड़ी ना होगी।
So you work for ISP or you work for enterprise?
सर मैं सियाना के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ करंटली, राइट। और एयरटेल में कोई
So
एयरटेल का प्रोजेक्ट
basically,
चल रहा
see when you work for Sienna, okay,
है। यस सर।
case.
हाँ, यस मैं सियाना के लिए वर्क कर रहा हूँ, एंड द प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो एयरटेल का है, राइट। और जो हमें बोला जाता है सिर्फ नोट्स पे तुमने ये कमांड है, इस पे आईपी लगा दो, और उसके बाद ये निकाल के तुम कमांड निकलवा दो, तो उनके पास कोई टूल है ऑटोमेशन से, वो निकाल देते हैं, और
समझ
उसके बाद हम वो निकाल देते हैं, हम उसको दे देते हैं प्लानिंग टीम को।
basically first of all, na Sienna is not a product basically.
यस सर। तो ये प्रोडक्ट ही बनाते हैं सर, वो उनका तो टू डिवाइसेज हैं सियाना के
हाँ, मैं
अपने।
वही कह रहा हूँ, बट नॉर्मली सी एयरटेल इज नॉट ओनली यूजिंग सियाना ना. एयरटेल हैज thousands of Cisco routers. Airtel has thousands of Juniper routers. So where so Sienna products they are using in some area. Maybe they are using this for some kind of multiplexing, demultiplexing, DWDM. Lot of telecom devices are there. So they are using this for some special purpose. So if you have only access to 10 routers, 10 Sienna routers, because you are working in Sienna team, na, you will only manage Sienna. But when you work for Airtel Cisco team, you will manage Cisco routers and they have thousands of routers. Are you getting my point? So 10 राउटर जो आपको दिख रहे हैं, so those are 10 Sienna devices. So because you are only hired for that product only. But the Airtel network is so big, bro, right? Airtel का network बहुत बड़ा है. Okay, it's so big. Like obviously, so when I was working with Juniper networks, right? Even Airtel is our client also, and they have almost, I remember, like not exactly I know because I was working in one team, like you are working in one team. In I was working with MX team, and in MX they have almost 1,000 plus routers. Are you getting? So इसका simple logic है. So you are dedicated to one particular project and you are only working on Sienna, but Airtel is not giving you access for their whole network. Okay? आवाज नहीं आ रही, आवाज नहीं आ रही. अनम्यूट करो ना, फिर आएगी बस.
अभी आ रही है सर बात?
हाँ हाँ, यस.
हाँ, मैं ये कह रहा था, मतलब जो चीज़ के लिए वो हमारे डिवाइसेस हमारे यूज़ करेंगे सियाना के, उसके लिए हमें वो अपने नेबर राउटर का एक्सेस देंगे, राइट।
या
ओके ओके, ठीक है। और सर जैसे हमें बताया था 5130 नोड एंड 5134 नोड, दीज आर L2 डिवाइस और L3 डिवाइसेस, ये कैसे पता लगेगा सर हमारे
ये
को?
वो मॉडल देखो वेबसाइट पे जाके ना, सियाना 5.1 कौन सा.
5130 node and 5134 node, and these are some are L2 devices and some are L3 devices, जो जैसे अभी आप बात कर रहे थे ना L2 एंड L3 डिवाइसेस के बारे में, तो मेरे को
बट
वहीं से कंफ्यूजन हो रही थी कि वो राउटर है या स्विच होगा या मक्स है, ये भी नहीं पता लगता कई बार तो।
राउटर है सियाना का ना 5130.
एंड 5134 इज द सेम।
5134 मुझे पता नहीं, वो मुझे खुद दोबारा देखना पड़ेगा. 5130 इज अ राउटर. 5134.
वो भी शायद सेम ही है, राउटर ही है सर, क्योंकि उस पे 30 वाले में नोट्स का पोर्ट्स कम है,
ये
एंड
आपका ना
34 पे
यू
पोर्ट्स
ओ
ज़्यादा
एल टी है ये.
है। ओके,
मीन्स इट्स ए
ये
राउटर
राउटर नहीं
बट
है।
इट इज मेनली यूज फॉर 4G 5G सर्किट्स ना.
अच्छा अच्छा,
ये टेलीकॉम
ठीक
से रिलेटेड प्रोडक्ट्स हैं यार बेसिकली ना. दिस इज नॉट प्योर आईपी डिवाइसेस.
है।
दे आर मिक्स ऑफ टेलीकॉम प्लस आईपी.
ओके।
But when it comes to, so when you are learning CCNA, CCNP, so what is going to be your benefit? So obviously when you learn OSPF, BGP, even in Sienna router, if you configure OSPF, BGP, the concepts are similar. maybe commands are a little bit different, right?
Okay.
Even if you have access to these router, try to check show commands. If you have access, try to so when
Okay.
I'll be teaching ospf bgp whatever, so you will try to run similar commands in that Ciena kind of routers, so that you try to relate your knowledge with the current job role, and when you go for any other company interview, you will be able to explain them, okay, I worked in Ciena where we used to configure ospf, and we have multiple devices. I have been working on almost 10 core network, तो आप relate करने लगोगे थोड़े थोड़े दिन में, okay?
एंड सर जो अभी आप क्यूएस कमांड के बारे में बता रहे थे, क्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विस वी आर यूजिंग, दैट इज द सेम पार्ट ऑफ दैट सेम कमांड हर इक्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विस वाली कमांड ही होती है, एक ही चीज है ना?
नहीं 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 नहीं, so the commands what I have shown you, I have just given example that this can be quality of service implementation in Cisco devices. So when you work for Ciena, when you work for Juniper, they all vendor have different commands. Okay, Cisco, and there is a company called Arista करके
ओके,
है. तो Cisco and Arista 99% commands are same. Okay, but Juniper is a different vendor, Huawei is different, Ciena is different. All these are different vendors.
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Hmm. Any other doubt, guys?
Yeah, hello.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah, can you explain me like what the exact function of QoS is? Like, can you explain me once
See,
briefly?
quality of service is basically right now you are talking to me. Suppose we are in very important Zoom meeting, right? So you want
Okay,
to prioritize my traffic now because you have some important traffic. Like for this meeting is very critical for our company, right? So what you give high priority to audio and video instead of web traffic.
okay,
Okay, so priority wise, suppose you want to give audio is a highly priority, right? Because if you can't hear me, you can't attend meeting. But video can, audio is priority one, video is priority two, and web traffic, what you use for YouTube, Gmail, all this is priority three.
okay. Is there anything specific like for these links we need to give the QoS like MPLS, MPLS L2 like that? Is there any specific links to give the QoS, or else like can give for ILL also?
No, no, no. In ILL or whatever device you are using for internet connection, na? Suppose you are using Cisco router for internet connectivity. So then you will implement quality of service in Cisco router. Okay. So when you are
Okay,
using any firewall, suppose FortiGate or Palo Alto, then you have to implement quality of service in the firewall. So wherever your internet is terminating na, in that particular device, you set quality of service. Even you have
in
home router.
MP, yes, it is there.
Okay, which ISP you use? Airtel?
I'm using Pioneer. Correct.
Okay,
Pioneer.
whatever. So try to log in the admin of
Okay.
your home ISP router and try
Uh,
to see there is an option of quality of service and try to
okay.
explore. Okay, try to explore me, and if you don't understand anything, please paste in the WhatsApp group with some video. Okay, this is I'm logging, but I'm getting this option. Can you please explain something like that? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So whatever
I
questions you have guys ना, तो जो भी तुम्हें doubt करते हैं whenever, whether it is a home router question, whether it is any ISP or
Sir,
any device, so try to ask me. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Shubham this side, sir.
Yeah, Shubham, tell me.
Yeah. So just have a small question. When we are just talking about WAN network, so we have suppose five offices. So across the five offices, we need to just take the same ISP connections at all locations, or we can use different ISPs.
Okay, so your question is if you have five offices, one head office and four branches. So in all the offices we need different ISP or same ISP we need, right?
Right, right.
So if you are using internet, suppose you are connecting all head office and branch offices with the VPN, okay, with VPN technology, that's IPsec
Yeah.
tunnel something, okay,
Yes.
then
Got it.
then you need internet connection whether it is from any ISP, okay. But
Okay,
when
got it.
when you are using, when you want to connect head office and branch office with reliable, with high speed connection, where you want reliability, you need a private lease line.
So
Okay.
privately is,
So
yeah,
दो
please
तरह का देखो,
continue.
दो तरह का कनेक्शन मिलता है. You get two type of connection. One is internet, one is private connection. So private connection will only connect your head office and branch office, but that's not internet. So if you go to Airtel and ask, okay, I want to connect MPLS, so they will connect to your head office and branch office, but they will not provide you internet. For internet, that's a separate link you have to buy. Clear?
Okay,
So when you
okay,
want to, you want Airtel help, Airtel, you go to Airtel connect my 5 offices. Airtel will charge you for 5 links because one link in head office, 4 links in 4 branches. So you have to pay for 5 links, but that's your MPLS connections, not internet connections.
okay. That will ensure only a high reliability, high speed.
Higher reliability, but it is very costly, bro.
Okay.
Okay,
And
only the biggest, only the top companies, whether it is HDFC Bank or any big banks, mostly these companies or these enterprises are using these MPLS kind of connections. Suppose I worked for Apple, I worked for different companies, so I have seen lot of MPLS connections. But if I'm working for very small, for any small company, okay, so then maybe I will not see that. I will not see any MPLS connection. I will only see in head office also we have internet connection. In branch office we also have internet connection, and we have firewalls in both the locations, and firewalls are connecting some VPN tunnel. That is your VPN connectivity, and that is cheap because you are using normal internet connection for head office and branch office connectivity. ये आएगा यार, आएगा समझ तुम्हें. Okay, so
okay,
just hold on
okay.
for some time. You will
Or
get to know.
Atulji, for MPLS and secure VPN, is there any speed difference?
Yes, yes, bro. So if you are using MPLS na, so you are obviously getting 100 MB for 50 MB. So you will plan according to the link speed. Okay.
Okay,
When it comes to secure VPN and all, because you secure the packets too much, because suppose it's like, suppose this is a packet, this is a normal phone, right? But if
okay,
you want to secure this, you will bubble wrap this, right? You will
okay,
again wrap and wrap multiple wraps, and then you forward that to courier. So what will happen? You will charge for extra courier service because you are having big box, then bubble wrap, lot of things. So what
okay,
I'm trying to say, when you are using MPLS, you are not encrypting your packets.
okay,
Okay, because your network is already secure, because you have already a secure tunnel, because ISP is giving connection to you and your branch office, right?
okay,
So there is no in between. There is no one between head office and branch office. But when it comes to internet, internet is publicly available. It's not secure. Internet is not secure. So when you create tunnel na, so
mhm,
that you want to connect your head office with branch office, you want all the communication will happen with encryption, right?
okay,
So when you encrypt packets na, you will always waste a lot of bandwidth.
okay. This
So
latest technology, SD-WAN, it is like MPLS or it is like
no. SD-WAN is a technology which can work on internet also, on MPLS also, on normal 4G, 5G SIM also.
got it.
So transport could be anything, medium
Okay,
could be anything.
got it.
तो SD-WAN टेक्नोलॉजी जो है मैं समझाऊंगा एक दिन आप लोगों को. That SD-WAN is a technology whether you are using a normal SIM phone in one branch which is maybe in Uganda. Let's take an example. So one, say, like in India, you have many big offices, head offices, branch offices. There you need more speed, more reliability. You are using MPLS connection. But there is some connections, maybe in Sri Lanka, Bhutan, you have some offices. There you need normal, like you have internet, you want connectivity. So anywhere, whether you have internet, whether you have MPLS, whether you have normal 4G, 5G SIM, you will be able to connect all your head office branch offices with just a single click. That's called SD-WAN.
Okay,
ओके, तो उसमें जो राउटर लगता है वो तीनों चीजें सपोर्ट कर रहा है. इट कैन सपोर्ट सिम ऑल्सो, इट कैन सपोर्ट MPLS ऑल्सो, इट कैन सपोर्ट नॉर्मल इंटरनेट ऑल्सो.
okay.
Okay, that's why it is getting more famous, because earlier days now, so when you want to connect your head office and branch office, so you need either fully MPLS network or maybe fully, like for example, when I worked for Apple now, so my all main offices, suppose Apple in US, UK, Israel, all big offices of Apple, all those locations are connected with each other with MPLS.
Mhm.
Clear? But all are Apple stores, because Apple stores are like the last end of the network, right? So
Okay.
all the Apple stores, we used to connect all of Apple stores with normal internet VPNs.
Okay.
Got the point?
Got it.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sir,
Anji, yes.
sir, now I'm working as a desktop support engineer.
Hmm.
I have the access of firewall,
Hmm.
only read-only access. There is a site named SD1.
Uh-huh.
I have the access of only seeing how the link is down or off, the latency is high, or these things. Is this the SD1?
So it totally depends which firewall you are using. FortiGate.
40 good, sir.
So FortiGate has SD-WAN technology.
So I am able to only see is there any link is down, Airtel or Jio.
हाँ, तो
There
आप
high
so you
latency,
you
high
check only
bandwidth.
one, you check only one location, or you have multiple branch offices.
We have multiple branch offices.
So you can see all the branches, or you can access only one firewall.
No, access only one firewall, my location firewall.
Okay, then who is accessing other locations?
There is head office in Gurgaon. The
हाँ वही
network
ना.
team is looking after this.
हाँ हाँ हाँ. So you have only one location, because you can only
One
see your
location.
location. Okay.
Your location
So
is.
when you become a network engineer, you will have access to all the location, and then you will see all your head office, branch offices. They are all are connected with firewalls, and the similar SD-WAN technology is deployed in all the locations.
That's why they gave me only access.
हम्म. ठीक है.
So, sir, on the
Am I
when
audible?
we
यार दो
hello.
लोगों आ रहे हैं आवाज. Yes, Arman. You.
Sir, I have a question which is completely out of the context. So may I ask?
Yeah. Go ahead.
सर मैंने 20 and 21 सेशन में 12th की थी, उसके बाद में मैंने ड्रॉप ले ली. तो अब somebody is suggesting me कि आप डायरेक्ट डिग्री ले लो कहीं से कैसे ना कैसे करके. और
2021 में क्या किया था?
सर 12th की थी मैंने, उसके बाद मैंने ग्रेजुएशन नहीं की.
Okay.
सो व्हाट शुड आई डू सर? मैं डायरेक्ट डिग्री लूँ या फिर मैं अभी अपनी ग्रेजुएशन प्रोसेस करूँ जो जो 3 साल के करीब ले लेगी.
हम्म.
सो व्हाट
तो
विल यू
कॉरस्पॉन्डेंस कर लेना.
सर? जैसे कि
Correspondence जैसे there are Manipal University, LP University, lot of universities are there in India. सुनी नहीं आपने के? सिक्किम
सुनी
मणि
तो है बट आई डोंट
हाँ,
नो द प्रोसेस सर.
कुछ नहीं. गो टू ऑनलाइन. एक सेकंड. सो गो टू दीज डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम्स ना. गूगल पे सर्च करो एक बार. ओके, सो यू कैन जस्ट
यस
गो
सर.
गो फॉर एनी BCA और BSc IT नॉर्मल डिग्री यू कैन गो फॉर. ओके.
सर वो 3 साल लेंगी या फिर क्या कैसे होगी मतलब?
यार तीन जेनवन तो 3 साल वाला ही है, बाकी पैसे खिला के 30,000 में बनवा ले.
सर कोई मतलब मैटर तो नहीं होगा ना अगर मैं डायरेक्ट निकलवा लूँ डिग्री वगैरह ऐसा कुछ?
नहीं वो देखो, मैं अभी तुम सालों मेरे से
लाइव है ना हम.
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, एक तो यूट्यूब लाइव है, मैं वैसी ऐसी बातें कैसे बुलवाऊँ.
ओके सर, मैं बाद में क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा. सॉरी सर फॉर.
नहीं नहीं, पर वो तुम बाद में भी पूछोगे तो भी मैं यही कहूंगा कि देखो, वैसे जेन्युइनली तो आपको और जेन्युइन तरीके से जाना चाहिए. बट देयर आर लॉट ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटीज इन राजस्थान एंड ऑल, दे क्रिएट दीज टाइप ऑफ ओल्ड डिग्रीज एंड ऑल, बैकडेट डिग्रीज बनाते हैं. अब वो दे आर जेन्युइनली डूइंग इट और नॉट, दैट आई कांट कमेंट. I hope you understand, right? So that totally up to you. You want to take a risk. If college is genuine, if they are giving back date, then it's good. But if college is genuine, if college is not genuine, obviously then you should not waste your money. Because
Right, sir.
anywhere down the line, when you join any good company, whether it TCS, Wipro, HCL, Accenture, they do very good background verification and they will find you that you
Right,
are
sir.
culprit, right?
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
तो अगर कोई बहुत अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी तुम्हें मिल गई और कोई दे दे भाई, तो भाई बढ़िया है। राइट, बट देखो इंडिया है, होता है यार। अब मैं ओपनली तो मैं नहीं बता सकता होता है नहीं होता, क्योंकि हमने तो भाई अपने आप जेन्युइन करी है डिग्री। हम इस चक्कर में नहीं पड़े थे, right? But no worries, so definitely degree as of now in India is obviously important. Maybe next few years, 5 years down the line, maybe people will not ask you that you are graduate or not, but right now graduation is important. So recommend you to please start correspondence degree or discuss with any of the good colleges.
Sir, sir, I am now pursuing my BTech.
हम्म, हाँ जी बताओ।
Am I able to getting a network job?
So will you be able to get a network job?
Network engineer?
हाँ, तो वो कैसे मिलेगा? वो पढ़ोगे तभी मिलेगा ना।
हाँ सर, मैं अभी डेस्कटॉप इंजीनियर में काम कर रहा हूँ,
हाँ,
दो
so
साल हो
whether you
गया।
are whether you are a desktop engineer, whether you are a telecom engineer, whether you are IT engineer, technical support engineer, or maybe you worked as a XYZ. So if you learn CCNA, CCNP firewall, so your previous experience will be counted. Okay?
सर, आई
Maybe
वांट टू से दैट
मेरी बात पूरी
इज
होने देना।
ग्रेजुएशन इज नेसेसरी। हाँ जी सर, बोलिए।
हाँ, graduation is important यार, again I am saying. Graduation is important. If you have done diploma, plus two, and all, and if you are attending these courses, it will help you to. Obviously, there are companies who do not check degrees, but there are very, like out of 10 companies, at least five will definitely ask your degree, or even 7 companies. तो 10 में से 7 कंपनियां तो चेक करेंगी तुम्हारी डिग्री कि तुमने करा है नहीं करा है, चाहे वेदर इट इज ए सिंपल BA BCom, दैट्स ओके, बट यू शुड हैव अ डिग्री. If you don't have a degree, definitely companies will not select you. Simple as that. Okay. So first thing in India, you need a degree. Second thing, you need technical skills. Third, you need com skills. All three things are important to get a high paying job. ठीक है, तो अभी क्या है, like if you don't have a degree, maybe you have done diploma or plus two, maybe you get a small job, 15,000, 20,000, or maybe you get a small hike, 2,000, 5,000. But if you want to achieve 50,000, 1 lakh or more than that salaries, you need all three things. You need any normal degree. Okay, you need technical skills, you need com skills. All three things are important. Okay. चलो अब ना यहाँ रोने ना लग जाया करो सारे। अब ज्वाइन कर लिया बैच, ढंग से पढ़ो। ओके, सो आई वुड रिकमेंड यू, वट एवर डिसीजन यू हैव टेकन, दैट यू हैव टेकन एडमिशन इन नेटवर्किंग, you are doing CCNA, CCNP, focus here. Okay, focus on what we are delivering, and rest whatever problems you are having, whether it is a degree problem, whether it is a com skills problem, whether it is any issue, you have to fix it. Okay, because all three, four, five things we can't fix. We can help you in technical skills. Okay, maybe like obviously, but we can't help you in degrees यार। समझ रहे हो? अब क्या करें, कोई टाइप करके बैठ जाए हम कि जो भी हमसे सीसीएनए करेगा उसको एक बीटेक की डिग्री मिलेगी। ऑफर तो अच्छा है वैसे। 6 महीने का सीसीएनए सीसीएनपी करो, गेट 4 years डिग्री। ओके, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन गाइस, और कैन I think we can wrap up. हाँ, Yadav, tell me.
I got a question, please. Atul. So,
Yeah, Daniel.
let's say, yes, sir. So let's say we attend this to our session, right? Do we get like an extra 20 minutes every day, like today, for Q&A? That's my question, please.
So means you are asking after every topic you want me to cover Q&A, right?
No. I'm asking like generally, is this going
Hmm.
to be the approach? So let's say we have the class from 12 p.m. EST to 2 p.m. EST, right? Class is done. Then you
Hmm.
give 20 minutes extra for Q&As. Is that how you intend to proceed?
See, normally 90% my classes are like this only. After every class, they ask me technical questions, or because see, these are initial classes. So that's why some people have irrelevant questions related to some degree, all those things. But I am a trainer, I have to take care of everyone, so I can't stop anybody to ask me. I hope you understand, right? So initially
Okay,
classes are
so
like this, but slowly they will also understand. I will also understand their requirement, and slowly we will only discuss the technical things.
oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I don't mind if we go over the 2 hours. I'm just want to find out. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
definitely.
if you go ahead, I don't have a problem. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank
Q&A
you.
will be after every session.
All right. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Shubham
Ritesh.
this side.
Yeah, Shubham.
Shubham this side.
Yeah, yeah, tell
So
me.
we spoke about the characteristic in the scalability. So scalability can be automated when one devices goes.
Scalability can be automated when it comes to cloud.
Okay,
Okay. In network there is a solution. We can scale the company network also with some limitation. But suppose you have 50 users connected to a switch and suddenly you got 10 more. So automatically switch will not increase their ports. So from
right.
physical point of view, we can't scale. We have to physically go and connect and scale the network. But when it comes to applications, when it comes to suppose you are watching a cricket live match, India versus England, and right now suppose some like Shubman Gill has done double century, whatever, right? So you all like the traffic was suppose 10 million, and now after like he scored 200, suddenly traffic increased to 50 million. So what will happen? The load on servers will increase, yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? So you need some automation. You need DevOps kind of engineers who automate the server resources. I hope you understand. So we can automate the cloud applications. We can automate cloud related to cloud. We can automate everything. Okay. But when it comes to networking, we can automate the repetitive task. In networking हम सिर्फ ऑटोमेशन रिपीटेटिव टास्क पे लगा सकते हैं. ओके, वी कैन डू नेटवर्क ऑटोमेशन ओनली ऑन रिपीटेटिव टास्क. सपोज डेली योर टीम is taking backup of 100 routers.
Okay.
Okay, suppose you have 100 head office and branch offices and you want to take daily backup of routers. So this is a repetitive task, right? Daily, every day you have to go to one by one on or every router and you have to take a backup, right? But what if we automate with some Python or some Ansible, some kind of a script, and automatically the system or Linux machine will take all your backups. So
Yeah.
this
Okay.
this is what we call network automation. So we can automate the repetitive task जो repeat हो रहे हैं बार बार, like you can automate the repetitive task. But when it comes to scaling, that is possible in the cloud right now.
Okay. So from the network perspective, there is any tool now enterprise companies are using that alerts, give alerts of the reaching the scale of the usage or the capacity of that device,
So you are talking about a tool which
like
can.
OP Manager,
Mhm.
OP Manager or like
That's a
that.
monitoring tool, na bro.
So any is there any tool that gives a alert when the
Mhm.
traffic are like load balancer? I mean, just when the heavy load on the devices
Okay, so
where
you are
needs to be
asking,
scalability. Hmm.
suppose in my head office or branch office, if bandwidth goes above like 1 GB, you want an
Yes.
alert, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely there are tools. These this NetFlow, what I told you, na?
Yeah.
NetFlow,
Got it.
so whatever tool support NetFlow, that can give you alert.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So you can search on Google NetFlow software. So there are PRTG, Datadog, Manage Engine. There are a lot of tools.
Solar
Even
wind also.
Solar Winds also is there.
Okay.
Hmm.
And the load balancer is the physical device or only with the technology we use?
So load balancer, if you are talking about cloud, we have virtual load balancers.
Okay.
Okay, virtual, like we have virtual routers, virtual switch I have shown you today.
Yes.
Similar way we have virtual load balancer, but when it comes to physical device, we have physical load balancers also, like F5 LTM. We have Citrix NetScaler. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we can consider that device as intermediate device, network
Yeah, yeah.
intermediate.
Load balancer is also a network device.
Okay.
That is in list में नहीं था ना वो?
Yeah, we missed
It
that.
is not in the list because Cisco doesn't have load balancer. That's why,
Okay.
because that's a screenshot from Cisco book, na. So that's why I don't see load balancer in that network devices.
Okay.
Hmm.
And we spoke about the L3 core switches and firewall, next generation firewall. So using the L3 core switches or firewall, we can skip the router or needs to be router existing in our structure in
So
topology.
see, L3 switches cannot do NAT.
Okay.
L3. So this is an interview question. If somebody asks you,
Hmm.
freshers, you ignore right now, but the working professionals. Okay. So suppose if anybody asks you what's the difference between L3 switch and router. So you can tell them router can do NAT, firewall can do NAT, but L3 switch cannot do NAT, which convert your private IP into public IP. That's called NAT.
Okay. So
Okay.
normal switches and L3 switches are different.
Normal switch cannot do routing. L3
Okay.
switch can do routing, can work like a router, but
But
it cannot work properly as a router, but because it cannot do NAT.
hmm,
It
okay.
has other things also, but mostly NAT is a problem in L3 switches. So that's why we have to use a router or firewall.
बट मोस्टली कमांड्स में वो चली जाती हैं सर उस पे L3 डिवाइस पे।
हाँ तो चल NAT करके दिखाइए मुझे.
नहीं उसकी नेट की तो बात ही नहीं कर रहा
हाँ, so
मतलब
NAT is an important device ना. He is asking if we
ओके
can replace router with L3 switch. But if you can't do NAT, then how? Maybe we can have NAT on firewall, and then we can have firewall and L3 switch combination. Okay, so we can do that if because normally firewalls support routing also.
सर एक जॉब
Okay.
रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन भी है
Yeah.
जॉब
और
रिलेटेड
वो
क्वेश्चन।
promiscuous port क्या होता है सर? What is the promiscuous
Promiscuous
port?
is just taken understand in this way that one port you want to give them internet access. So internet access is called promiscuous mode. You can understand this way. अभी के लिए.
Okay.
If
Okay.
promiscuous is off, means that port do not have internet access.
Okay.
Hmm.
Atulji, every day you are teaching, right? The material will get in PDF, or we can. Yesterday we have shared some PDF.
No, no,
So
it is a image. The software what I'm using right now, it is giving me images.
okay,
So I'll export the images. Okay, and I'll yesterday also I've given one image, and today
okay.
also I'll be
So
giving.
so what is my doubt is in future. So
Hmm.
if any doubts, how we can refer? I'm asking. So
So you will be in WhatsApp group now, bro, with me.
no. If any the study content.
Uh,
So yesterday you have shared in PDF, right? You are using that PDF and teaching, or you are using other content for teaching purpose?
See, I'm using, means you are asking my reference from where I'm teaching.
No. See, whatever you are day to day you are teaching, right? The
Hmm.
same we can refer in that PDF.
Yeah. I'll make one document.
Okay.
Yesterday also I have created one notes. Today also I have created notes. So daily I'm sharing in WhatsApp right now, but I'll create one document properly where you will see automatically notes are updated. Okay?
Oh, that's nice. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. You do
सर
not
आई
have
एम
to
नॉट
worry. You do not
आई
have
एम
to
नॉट
worry.
एडेड इन दैट ग्रुप सर।
क्या कह रहे हो? कल का क्लास नहीं किया है क्या?
सर कल का क्लास मिस हो गया था।
हाँ तो कोई नहीं, देखो यूट्यूब पे पड़ा है. ठीक है, तो अभी बज गए 12 और मेरे भी. Okay, so it's 12 now and I'm closing the session. If anybody has doubt, you can ask in WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Good night. So now energy levels are 70%. Yesterday it was 50, now 70. I wish in the next class